Hello everyone, it's Leon here and welcome to PS4 O'Clock. This week we've got loads to get through with new information on The Last of Us, Assassin's Creed Unity, The Division, Batman Arkham Knight, PS1 and PS2 emulation and an update on Drive Club. First up, we've got The Last of Us on PS4, which now has been basically confirmed by PlayStation's Eurasian software market manager Serkan Sulan. Now, he was interviewed by a Turkish website called Multiplayer. That interview has been translated, and what he said is this: "There is no information about a new The Last of Us game, but I can share this knowledge. As of this summer, The Last of Us will also be on PS4, both on PSN and physical. The PS4 version will also include the DLC, so you will be able to play Left Behind as well." Now, just to make sure there was no doubt about what he was saying, he then also added, "The first game will be released this summer for PS4 as a physical and digital copy with enhanced graphics." So there you go. Sony have said nothing official, but this is a fairly high-ranking man in Sony's network. He's been employed since August 2012. He's not sort of a new guy that's just blabbing stuff out. He knows stuff about Sony. So it looks like, while they're not admitting it, it is going to be coming to PS4 this summer. Now, last week I had some leaked screenshots of Assassin's Creed Unity, which was at the time rumoured to be the next game on PS4. The day last week's show went up, Ubisoft released a trailer essentially confirming that this was the case, and you can see that playing now. There's no information to confirm the leaked details about the lead character. It's definitely 18th century Paris, as we can see by the action here. All the information the trailer contained was that this is alpha game footage, so Ubisoft are saying that this is in-game. And they've also said there's a holiday release date. So holiday is usually what Americans refer to as Christmas, so we're probably looking at a November sort of release date. It's interesting that the trailer does state that next gen starts here, which does brush aside to some extent Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and that was a cross-gen development anyway. It'll be interesting to see what this new instalment will do if Ubisoft are stating that this is next gen. Also on the next gen front, we have another trailer from Ubisoft. Now this time it's for The Division, or rather the Snowdrop engine, which is being used to power it. Now this is what's being developed by Massive Games. The trailer mainly focuses on the engine and how it supposedly makes it much easier to produce incredible worlds. But there's a few things you can sort of see in there that might suggest something about the game. There's a forest environment, for example, that features quite heavily, suggesting that you'll be moving outside of city environments. Now there's also some very The Last of Us style environments. These look very, very worn down, very old. It suggests that The Division takes place over a much wider timescale. It's allowed a lot more decay and a lot more sort of breakdown of buildings and materials. So we might be seeing a story that takes place over months or years rather than the initial days of the disaster. We've also seen some more on the drones in the game, the first being the airborne one you can control if you're playing through the companion app. There's also some kind of heavily armoured walker, which I'm guessing will be both an enemy and something you can hack and control as you progress through the game. There's also a tiny bit of stealth gameplay which suggests you might have options when you play the games rather than simply shooting everyone. Now there's been a little bit more on Batman Arkham Knight. There's been no new information as such. They've been re-showing the original reveal demo at GDC and a few press events. But we have got a few more screens now, getting us a good look at the Arkham Knight. Now this is the new character that Rocksteady have created for the game. They won't say much about it other than he obviously is important, he's the name of the game, and he appears to be an enemy of Batman. In the demo that I saw, he knocks Batman to the floor, puts a gun to his head, and apparently shoots him as a gunshot as the screen cuts to black. One thing I will say about these screens is this is what the game looks like. I went to see the game played at Rocksteady, I had the game director Sefton Hill demonstrate it for me, and this is what I saw when he was playing it. This is what the game actually looks like. Also this week we've had more information from Ashan Rashid, who is known on Twitter as Thoway. He's an industry sort of insider. He seems to know a lot of Sony people out in LA. He's often tweeting information. He seems to know what's going on. Has often been right in the past. He's talked previously about the PS1 and PS2 emulation that Sony are working on for the PS4. Now this is a local based solution, so it's something on the PS4. It's not PlayStation Now based. And he's tweeted a little bit more information about it. What he's said is that the emulation experience ranges from absolutely amazing 1080p to terrible buggy single frame a second garbage. And apparently it's this inconsistency that is forcing Sony to delay the release or even the announcement of this feature. He said that Sony don't want to ship a half-baked product with people complaining about inaccurate features. So what he's saying is that technology exists to play PS1 and PS2 games on your PS4 via the disc, but it's too unpredictable, it's too inconsistent, and Sony aren't going to release it until they've fixed all of those issues. And finally, just to finish up, we have new information on Drive Club. Now, this has not had a good run of luck recently. Not that long ago, Sony had announced that it was going back to the drawing board and that they were completely re-engineering it because they weren't happy with it. This week they released a list of all the games that were coming out on PS4 this year. It was a 100+ list, and Drive Club was down as TBC 2014, which implies they are planning on bringing it out this year. Furthering the bad luck that the studios had is there's been redundancies at Evolution Studios. Game director Cole Rogers has left. He's now gone indie with a studio called Big Red Switch. But Sony are confident, it seems, that Drive Club isn't dead. What they've said is that they will be sharing an update on development, release date and videos of the game in action in the weeks to come. They added, "We thank you for your patience and assure you it will be worth the wait." Sony Computer Entertainment also confirmed that Drive Club does have a game director at the helm who we will be revealing very soon. So it suggests that while it's been a run of bad luck for Drive Club, Sony is still behind it, it's still happening, and we are going to see something very soon about the new game and what they've done to it and what these drawing board changes have been. So there you go, that is this week's news. We have basically confirmation that The Last of Us will be coming to PS4 as an enhanced remaster with The Last of Us DLC Left Behind included. Assassin's Creed has been confirmed by Ubisoft with a trailer for a holiday or Christmas release date, and this footage is allegedly in-game alpha. The Division's revealed a little bit more gameplay, showing some stealth, some drones, and potentially a longer timescale to the story with some very run-down environments. Batman Arkham Knight has released a new look at some of the in-game screens, and these are in-game screens showing the main villain, the Arkham Knight himself. PS1 and PS2 emulation is coming to PS4, but Sony is still unhappy with the inconsistent results. And finally, Sony seem to be preparing the revitalised Drive Club with talk of updates, videos and a new director being announced very soon. So there you go, that is this week's news. There's been a lot happening. If you have any questions, leave a comment, like and subscribe if you want more, and I shall see you guys next week.